We have been taught that wars are fought on battlefields with weapons forged from steel, but the battlefield of our age is different. Today's greatest conflicts unfold not in open fields but in our minds, our words, our very perceptions. Sun Tzu warned us. All warfare is based on deception. Yet deception today isn't merely lies. It is truth reshaped, language co-opted, justice redefined. Our adversaries no longer seek victory through brute strength alone. They target the heart of meaning itself, reshaping reality without firing a shot. This is the war of truth, a struggle not over territory, but over narratives. Not about who wields swords, but about who wields words. Words define our reality, determine our alliances, and dictate our actions. The moment we surrender the power to shape language, we surrender power itself. Language, power, justice, these forces are inseparable, three elements that define our social order. Sun Tzu taught, "The supreme art of war is to subdue the enemy without fighting." Today, those who seek dominance do not storm our gates. Instead, they quietly alter the words we rely upon, bending their meaning until reality itself shifts beneath our feet. When power seeks legitimacy, it does not declare itself openly, it redefines justice. When justice is challenged, language is manipulated, so the oppressor becomes liberator, the victim becomes aggressor, and submission becomes peace. To reclaim justice, we cannot simply challenge the surface manifestations of power. We must reclaim language itself. Words are our strongest weapon, but only if we control them. To master the war of truth, master language. Narratives are powerful precisely because they are subtle. Cycles of words, actions, and assumptions so deeply ingrained that we mistake them for reality itself. Sun Tzu reminds us, if you know the enemy and know yourself, you need not fear the result of 100 battles. Yet we often remain unaware of how narratives shape our reactions, guiding us onto battlefields already chosen by our adversaries. We march obediently, resisting where resistance is harmless, and submitting exactly where submission is desired. To escape this cycle, we must question not only the narratives we're told, but their very intent, interrupting this reinforcing loop. True liberation from narrative control demands deliberate awareness, a willingness to reclaim our stories, and the courage to speak words unsanctioned by power. Silence often masquerades as neutrality, as if quietude were a refuge from conflict. Yet Sun Tzu's wisdom reminds us that silence is itself a choice, one that creates opportunities not for us, but for our opponents. Opportunities multiply as they are seized, he warned. Every silence, every withheld word is an opening others will eagerly exploit, reshaping our world in their image. Meaning lost becomes fertile ground for oppression, a blank page upon which our adversaries rewrite justice in terms that suit them. Neutrality is thus an illusion. Silence is complicity. To remain silent is to grant permission. Therefore, we must speak clearly, defining our own truths proactively. If we fail to give voice to our meanings, they will vanish, only to reappear, twisted and weaponized against us. The words we use today are the realities we will inhabit tomorrow. Language does not shape action directly. It shapes perception, and perception shapes action subtly, yet inevitably. Sun Tzu instructs, appear weak when you are strong. In modern terms, a harmless-seeming phrase uttered today may be weaponized tomorrow. Words we dismiss as neutral now may later become instruments of power. Domination disguised as common sense, injustice cloaked in soothing vocabulary. Therefore, we must think strategically about our words, shaping language consciously, positioning ourselves advantageously, planting linguistic seeds today that will bear fruit in tomorrow's battles. To master this subtle warfare is to secure victory long before conflict arises. Power is subtle in its domination. It does not always openly oppose its challengers. Instead, it seeks to absorb them. Sun Tzu counseled wisely, to know your enemy, you must become your enemy. In this war of words and meanings, power neutralizes threats by integrating them, stripping radical ideas of their potency through assimilation. Oppositional words lose their teeth, becoming hollow, institutionalized, safely symbolic gestures of rebellion without consequence. Real resistance thus cannot merely adopt existing language of power. It must transform that language entirely, innovate radically, and create paradigms that cannot be co-opted. True rebellion lies not in occupying the adversary's fortress, but in leaving their fortress irrelevant altogether. To wage effective resistance, mere speech is insufficient. It must harmonize seamlessly with action and strategy. Sun Tzu cautioned, "The wise warrior avoids the battle he cannot win." Do not be drawn into superficial skirmishes over mere semantics. Identify battles whose outcomes shift actual balance of power. Understand language as strategic terrain, but never mistake discourse for meaningful action alone. Speech without action is empty. Action without strategy is futile. When awareness, words, and deeds align in deliberate purpose, we become formidable. Recognize clearly the ground upon which true victories are won. This harmony of thought, word, and deed is the essence of strategic mastery in the war of truth. Words shape worlds. Justice is never static. Power never sleeps. The battle for truth will never end. For as long as there are those who wish to control us, there will be those who redefine truth to justify their aims. Sun Tzu's profound teaching was never solely about winning wars. It was about recognizing the unseen currents beneath conflict, about controlling perception, about prevailing without needless bloodshed. Today, we confront not soldiers but words. We wield not swords but meanings. Victory demands vigilance and strategy, conscious control over the narratives that shape us, active resistance against the co-opting embrace of power. This is our challenge and our opportunity to reclaim our language, redefine our world, and rewrite the story not only of today, but for generations yet unborn.